What's up, beautiful lady? How are you?
Oh, living the dream.
Aren't we all? Aren't we
Yeah.
all?
Yep, yep, yep. It's cold here, so what are you
Not
gonna
here.
do?
It was, my goodness, on the beach, it was crazy hot today. Matter of fact, my wife and I went somewhere. I think, oh, we went to the gym, and she's like, I don't think the AC is working in the car. I'm like, it's working. It's just 90 degrees.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I had the heat on in my car today, so
hey, let me ask you a question. You heard a little bit of the opening. This John Lucas case, still some misinformation being spread.
oh, it's
Um,
crazy.
but I was. How impressive was it that the attorney came in and gave Leslie? I think he was here for 2 hours,
Yeah, just about.
nonstop,
Yeah, yeah,
nonstop. Um, Surely to goodness, that's going to help set the record straight and cool some people's heels and kind of let the system work.
yeah. I mean, when we do these cases and stuff, with Nancy Guthrie, and everything, you know, we're outside looking in, right? We're not inside looking out. So we don't know what's going on behind the scenes,
Right.
right? We want justice, we want it now. Okay. And you're right. I mean, you've said this several times. It's not an hour, 45-minute TV show, Law and Order, whatever. We wish it could be that way, but it can't. And I got to tell you, I think Scott Summers is one of the most respectable guy
Yeah.
out there. I mean, he is so I can listen to him talk all night because his voice is just so calming. But um, he's gonna do right by that family, whether whatever the outcome is gonna be, it's gonna be right. So we all live in different states. The laws are different when it comes down to state level. We're not gonna like it. We probably won't like it. Maybe we will. Some are gonna disagree. Some are gonna agree. There's nothing we can do. I live in Illinois. There's nothing I can do. You live in Florida. Laws are different there. Laws are different here, just like they are in West Virginia. I hope this family gets justice. I hope they get peace of mind and they can find a way to find their new normal
Yeah.
because that's going to be
Yeah.
extremely hard to find their new normal, right? So, I mean, it would have been different if he was sick, and but that's not the case.
No.
That's not the case.
No.
So,
I was more
but
proud,
Scott was
Leslie.
very respectful, and I have so much respect for that man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
You're
but
fine.
he was very respectful but very firm, right? So, I mean, I respect him all the way, and he's gonna do what's right for that family, to what the law is going to allow him to do,
We've
and that's all
had
we can do,
Rick in here. Rick has said the same thing. We're not owed
right?
anything by the government. Um, we've had Steve Strickland on here many times. You're not
Right.
owed anything by the government or the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Rich has said it. I've said it. But even though that we say it, Leslie,
Mm-hmm.
we want to see movement in these cases because people are suffering. So we get a little antsy sometimes. But you know what? As long as we can be antsy and keep it in the center, and if we make a mistake,
Right.
own it,
Right.
apologize, and go to the next one.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Sometimes people misspeak, but when we try to do here on this platform, we try to state the facts as we know them. If we end up making a mistake, we own it, right? And everything else is our opinion. So I know very little about the law except what you guys have taught us. You guys are here to help us, flush it out, and like I said, I mean, if this was Chicago, I live 30 miles outside of Chicago. My town that I live in is bigger than Elkview. Okay. So
Right.
people do things different in different areas. And I mean, there are going to be people that are going to be happy, and there's going to be people that are going to be very, very upset. it's a no-win situation as far as you know.
I think what we're going to do, Leslie, and family, I think moving forward, I want to bring back Mark Longwell, criminal defense lawyer, former prosecutor. He's put a lot of bad guys in prison, but now he's a practicing criminal defense lawyer. Probably one of the best. I would put he and Scott Summers on the same hand. They're both
Right.
fair, level-headed, but both know the law. But I think what we're going to do, Leslie, is bring Mark in occasionally and let Mark walk us through the justice system on how it works. And I'm telling you, some of these cases, we've seen it in these news stories. It could take a year, 2 years,
Yeah.
3 years, 4 years, and some of it never gets solved. But I think we need to hear from Mark Longwell soon, just to give us a little crash course in criminal justice and the procedure, so we all are on the same page.
I mean, honest to God, if what happened to John Lucas happened in the city of Chicago, there would have been arrests made immediately.
Yep.
Because it's a big city.
Yep.
Okay, it's a big city with millions of people. It's just like I said, different areas do different things, and does it make it right? Probably not. I mean, we're all from different walks of life. We all live in different areas. The laws are different, like I said. So you got to respect it. You don't have to respect it, but I want to see justice for this family. I want them to have peace in their hearts, in their minds, for the family, the community, their friends, everybody. And I'm 100% sure that Scott is going to do right by them.
Oh, no question. But he's
going to get the. Go ahead.
I'm more proud of you folks, the people that are tapping, the people that are commenting. Leslie, we all agree that Scott Summers is an A-lister. He's the real deal. He's legit. He's the Perry Mason of modern times, in my opinion. But Leslie, did you hear he only has ever done our platform?
Yeah.
That speaks volumes, Leslie, as to not me, but the community. He trusts our community with coming on here exclusively.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that's a big deal. And everybody should applaud yourself. It's a big deal for you.
I mean, things take time, and do I think should have been an arrest sooner? Yeah, but I get what Scott's saying. Okay, that's just my opinion. Okay, that's my opinion. So it's at the end of the day, Scott still has to go to court, and he has to. I don't want to say he has to do his job, and he has to prove, with the prosecution, right? So he has to defend the family, and the prosecution's got to do their job.
So I tell you what, I hear
unless they make a deal or something. I don't know, but I mean, it's unusual. This is unusual for me to see that the family was actually there with their attorney and talking to the prosecution.
Yep.
That's unusual to me because I don't see it here. So there's things happening, behind closed doors. There's communication going on, and and I would just say that, if anybody has any information or anything, go straight to Scott, because that family really, really they just need peace and quiet, and they've got enough going on. So, or they can come to us and we'll relay it to Scott. If you don't, just find a way to get it to him, and then Scott will take care of it for sure. And that's what he said last night. So.
No, that's true.
It's just,
he's got his hands full. He has his hands full.
He does. On top of everything else he's got going on. So, but I truly in my heart, I believe he's going to do right by that family. So
you've got a big case tonight to talk about.
Oh my Lord. My whole
Um,
FYP page are the scientists. That's my entire FYP page and John Lucas. Okay.
you've been on you've been on this case from day one, and I tell you what, if you want to know about what is going on in the missing scientist case, stick around because you're going to hear it from Leslie. As far as I'm concerned, you're an expert in this matter. And
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's just like there's so many twists and turns in this. So the news is reporting like 12 people now, 11, 12 people now. I have 18. And then I had some downtime at work and I was doing some searching and then I found a list of 66 people going back to 1995 with our people on that list. Plus, apparently, I saw on the footnotes that 66 number wasn't including a plane crash that happened a while back that had over 100 plus people. So they were trying to include that count in there. I didn't really research that. I'm just trying to go off the top of my head. But, I mean, I have a spreadsheet. I mean, I'm not even
hold on.
kidding. Look.
Hold on. I've got to give you your proper dues. Guys, listen. I'm so happy that my co-host tonight, Miss Leslie, she's been here since day one. She has fought for this platform. She has stuck up for the platform when people really didn't know the platform. And she's been here. She is one of the true leaders of the community. Very active in that Telegram chat. If you open it up, you're going to see the name Leslie in there a lot. But it's just my honor to be joined by another co-host tonight from our community, Miss Leslie. Thank you. I had to. I mean,
Oh no, I appreciate that. I appreciate
we had Monty
that.
in here Monday
Press
night.
that button.
We had
You're the
Jamie
one
in
who
here
pressed the
last night,
button.
and now we've got Leslie. So, Leslie, let me ask you a question. I have it set up. Do you want me to play a really quick piece on this before you get started? On
Sure.
the scientist?
But something even more alarming. According to media reports, 12 U.S. scientists working on nuclear, space programs, and classified projects have either died or gone missing since 2022. Something is up. Florida Representative Anna Paulina Luna wrote in a post on X on the mysterious deaths of U.S. scientists. On April 23rd, South Carolina Republican Representative Nancy Mace raised the issue, asking, "Who killed the scientists?" Some suspects have been identified in a few cases, but many remain unexplained, fueling speculation and attempts to connect them. Congress and the FBI have opened investigations, though details about any links remain limited. The House Oversight Committee is probing 10 cases, writing to the FBI and the Pentagon, and warning that these incidents could pose a serious national security risk. Speculation surged on April 23rd after the death of well-known UFO researcher David Wilcock, who died by suicide on April 20th, according to the Boulder County coroner. His passing brings the total number of such cases to 12. Notably, Wilcock's 2022 post on X, which read, "I plan on living, not suicidal," adds further fuel to the fire. When pressed on the mysterious deaths and disappearances, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt assured the media that the matter would be looked into.
There are now 10 American scientists who have either gone missing or died since mid-2024. They all reportedly had access to classified nuclear.
Leslie, what is going on with America's top scientist? It's your show. Take it away. I'm all ears, sister.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there was a bunch more that came up, or a couple of more that came up over the, last week. There was a family. Hang on, let me get it. So James Moffat, okay, was him, his wife, and his two sons were leaving North Carolina to go back to Alabama, and they went into a plane crash, and it was February 17th. Well, James Moffat is former military. He worked as a payload and flight crew support specialist at NASA's Johnson Space Center astronaut office, where he participated in 14 Space Shuttle ISS construction missions. He retired from the Army 2008. He founded his aerospace consulting firm Moffett Systems and later served as a principal research engineer at the University of Alabama Huntsville Research Center. His son was also on that plane, was following in his father's footsteps. And he was an up and coming researcher at the time of his unaliving. He was a 30-year-old research engineer and scientist at the University of Alabama Huntsville Research and Engineering Center, Support Center. I mean, is it coincidental? What do we say, Jamie?
We don't do coincidentals. We do what
We don't
less
do
people.
coincidental. And it's unfortunate because his wife, his two sons, and him were in that plane. And they were coming back. They were coming from North Carolina back to Huntsville, Alabama. So Huntsville, Alabama is now all of a sudden in the mix here. Okay? Because of Amy. And I got her thing here. She passed, Amy Eskridge, she passed June 11th, 2022. She unalived herself. She went public, and you can search this on the YT. She was on a podcast, and she was saying she has to release this. They have to publish this at a certain place. And she's saying that, that if there were text messages, she was text messaging her friends, certain people. And she's saying, if I pass away, it's not because I did it to myself. She was telling people all of this. She was getting text messages from people that she didn't know who it was. Why not? We can make this all go away.
Hey, Leslie,
Yeah.
we get interrupted by the news.
Yeah, of course.
Is it okay if I go change? We're going to do the live news while we're covering this. Is that okay?
Go
You
for
keep
it.
going. I'm going to go change, and we're going to
Okay.
do Fox News. We're going to let the people.
Okay.
We're going to let them watch us do behind the scenes on live news. Sorry
Okay.
about that. You know how that works. They just
No,
pop
no,
up.
no,
Les.
no. You're fine. So the Amy Eskridge started coming out because everybody was researching what was going on with all these scientists. She was a plasma physicist and UFO researcher, but she was getting threatened. She was getting text messages left and right. We could end this. Just take the pills on the side of your desk, or you can do this or you can do that. They were watching her. They knew her every move. Her father does not believe that this is related to anything. In my opinion, I'm thinking it does. So her and her father created the Institute for Exotic Science, an organization designated to research in exotic science, including gravity modification, quantum computing, metamaterials, and related technologies. And that all has to do with, the UFOs, ET, and everything else. So now Huntsville is in the mix now. She also stated on her YT that Huntsville is number 3 in the nation to get it hit. If you guys get what I'm saying here, I'm trying to be TikTok friendly here. So if the U.S. ever gets attacked, Huntsville's number 3 on the list. They do a lot of top secret stuff there, and I think it's more towards the UAP, UFO things. She knows a lot of stuff. And she put out a lot of information before she had passed away. But with all these scientists going missing and stuff, this goes above and beyond the UFOs because so let me give you a background on McCaslin. So Major General William McCaslin went missing on February 27th, 2026. He was seen at his home talking to a repairman at 10 a.m. His wife left at 11:10 a.m. for a doctor's appointment. She came back around 12:05. He was gone. His wife attempted to contact family, friends, whatever. So at 3:07 p.m., she reported him missing, and then they began searching for him. So he left with his wallet, his .38 pew pew with the holster, and possibly a red backpack. So his phone, prescription glasses, and any wearable devices were at the house. So they searched everywhere for him, and it's out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. So they used drones, helicopters, they used everything they could, because he lived in the foothills in Albuquerque. So they brought in the Albuquerque FBI, they brought in the sheriff's department who was leading this, Air Force Special Investigations if they needed them, and then volunteers. They searched everywhere. He was an avid hiker, so he knew he was going. So if he was he would never take his pew pew with him, and he had several, but that was the one that was missing. He would never take it with him unless he was going overnight, which is understandable if he's staying in the mountains. So they did infrared searches and everything, and they couldn't find him. So he was in the Air Force through 2013, and he left due to mental fog. So, which I can understand. I mean, this man was the highest ranking military person highest ranking officer in the entire military. So that means Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines, you name it. He knew secrets, top secrets that nobody else knows. So, I mean, we're talking UFOs, we're talking all kinds of stuff. And I wanted to get into the financials of this because, I mean, it's, the UFOs are part of this, but I think the major part of this is the finances and the missing money that is unaccounted for with the weapons and everything. So he went missing the day before we started overseas, and I don't want to say the country's name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I think he knew that was coming down. And then President Trump had announced that he was going to disclose the UFO files. He wanted to. He said that before. So McCaslin goes missing. The next morning, we all wake up and we're overseas. In the middle of, whatever we're in the middle of. So I find that kind of strange, but he disappeared without a trace. As far as we know, there's no video. No one saw him except for the repairman. He's been cleared. He just disappeared off the face of the earth. I mean, literally. Just like a couple of other people, too. There was... Hang on. So we had Monica Reza. She went hiking in Los Angeles. She went missing on 6/22/25. She was hiking with friends. They were like 30 feet ahead of her. They looked around. She was there. She was fine. She was happy. About 2 minutes later, they turn around. She was gone. On the top of a mountain, she's gone. A couple of these scientists, and I don't know about McCaslin's phones, but a couple of these scientists left their house, left their phones, and they were wiped clean back to factory settings. That doesn't that doesn't fly with me. And who was it? It was Steven Garcia. He went missing. He's also in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He went missing 8/28/25. He left on foot carrying his pew pew and nothing else. And he worked at the Kansas City National Security campaign. He was a high-level government. This is small. I don't know why. Yeah, he was a very high-level government contractor overseeing all of the assets from 10 to maybe hundreds of millions of dollars in equipment and assets, some which are not classified, others that would be classified. I mean, this is going above and beyond UAPs here. We're talking nuclear, we're talking missiles, lasers. I mean, I can start getting into all of that. That's where I really wanted to go with that, because it's just the UFOs and Roswell and all of that. That's just a small part of it. Because what I found is the big part of it. Because when we're talking about millions of dollars, possibly billions of dollars missing from the budget. So, I mean, I don't know how much time do I have, Jamie, before you go on?
Oh, if when I go to do the news, we'll just break in for a minute and we'll pick right back up.
Okay.
This is your show, so I'm a guest.
Okay, so yeah, I know I'm a little bit all over the board here, but I really wanted to get into the financials of this. So I'm going to read on this because I can't. There's just a lot here. So where I'm getting my information is from The Vanishing, from the Twin Silos Intel group I found on the internet from March 22nd, 2026. I got it right here. So, let's see. So, okay, so it says William McCaslin was not just a retired officer. Over a 34-year Air Force career, he commanded some of the Pentagon's most advanced and most expensive weapons research programs. From May 2011 to July 2023, he served as commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. Now, Wright-Patterson does a lot of stuff there, but they also, I mean, they do everything there. He oversaw it all. He oversaw in Ohio, overseeing a combined annual budget of $4.4 billion, billion with a B, in a workforce of over 10,800 personnel. Before that, he commanded the Phillips Research Site at Kirkland Air Force Base in New Mexico, the nerve center of America's directed energy weapons development. So directed energy weapons, they're high-powered lasers, particle beams, electromagnetic pulse systems. These are not science, and it's saying, and I'm reading from this is not science fiction. We're dealing with Star Wars stuff here, people. That's the way I can simplify it in my mind. This is Star Wars stuff.
And we have somebody in the chat that used to work at Wright-Patterson. Michelle said she used to work at Wright-Patterson in the chat.
Really?
Yeah.
So, let's see. Their operational technology that McCaslin spent decades developing, testing, and refining. He held a PhD in astronautical engineering from MIT. He served as chief engineer for the entire Department of Defense GPS program. He worked in the National Renaissance Office assignments, so classified that their mission statements are still redacted. He knew how America's...
Leslie, hold on. She didn't work there. She used to walk by there, not work there. I read it wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He knew how America's most advanced weapons actually worked, how they actually how much they cost built, and most importantly, how much cheaper they were to operate than the missile system currently filling defense contractors' bank accounts. So he not only retired into obscurity in 2024. He served as director of technology at Allied Technology Associates, a New Mexico-based defense contractor specializing in particle beam technology. ATA, which is Applied Technology Associates, was acquired by Blue Halo, an Arlington, Virginia defense conglomerate focused on space warfare, directed energy, and missile defense. McCaslin was not some emeritus professor trading on an outdated Cold War knowledge. He was still working active classified particle beam contracts, and his expertise was current, which means if there's now, this is somebody else writing this, if his expertise was still current and his knowledge was still operational, I'm wondering if he ever did lose his credentials when he retired. I don't know.
Here's my thought on that. Just going through that system, you may lose that clearance or those credentials, but what you don't lose is what's up here in your head.
Yeah, I mean, he knew so much.
Yeah.
That was going on since before I was even born. So
yeah.
So that all of this knowledge made him valuable. It also made him dangerous because McCaslin knew something that could cost the defense industry hundreds of billions of dollars. Directed energy weapons do not just work better than conventional missiles in many scenarios. They cost almost nothing to fire. So, I mean, and then they're getting into, so he said the financial reality that McCaslin understood better than almost anyone alive. America is fighting war with $1 million answers to $1,000 problems. And the people selling those $1 million answers are getting very, very rich. So you're taking what's going on over in the Middle East right now. It said they launched the day after McCaslin disappeared. The primary U.S. defense weapon system is the Patriot missile battery, a mobile surface-to-air system designed to intercept incoming threats. Each Patriot PAC-3 interceptor missile costs approximately $4 million.
Hey, can you, Robin came up with a good idea. Can you give the names and the titles of these missing people and kind of show what their titles are with their names? Do you have that?
You mean of the scientists?
Yeah, of the missing people.
Oh, yeah.
There are like a list of them.
Oh, there's a huge list of them. I mean, we got Amy Eskridge who passed in 2022. She was the owner of, I mean, they all didn't work for NASA or whatever, so, and they all weren't in the military. The majority of them were, but a lot of them were civilians. So,
we're just trying to show the names and then try to show the connections. They may not have worked for NASA, but they may have worked for a contractor, et cetera, et cetera. So we just kind of connect the dots so everybody understands, because this is a big case. This is a big deal.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, with all of the stuff that's going on, I mean, I really haven't made a direct connection. We have, here, this is probably better. So we had Michael Hicks. He was NASA's asteroid comet researcher. He passed away July 30th, 2023. Then we have Frank Maywald, who passed away July 4th, 2024.
What were their titles, Leslie?
He was, it's just, they were principal researchers at the NASA JPL, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I mean, they're all over the place. Anthony Chavez, he was a contractor. I mean, a lot of them really didn't have big titles. I mean, he's missing. He went missing, and he worked at the Los Alamos National Laboratory. Then we got Monica Reza. She's missing, and she's affiliated with just about all of them. The NASA JPL, Aerojet rocket propulsion facility. Melissa Casas, she's missing. She's the lowest out of them all because she went missing on June 26th, and she was just an admin assistant at the Los Alamos National Laboratory.
Now,
Then we
is
have
she the
Stephen
is she the
Gardner.
hiker? Was she the hiker?
No, Monica
No.
Reyes was. Yeah, Monica Reyes actually. Okay, so she's directly. They're all associated with McCaslin, but Monica Reyes was directly because she discovered the monoloy. She had patented it. She patented the monoloy. So and the patent's out there. I have a copy of it. I found it. It was actually a co-patent, but her partner, partner, she passed away from cancer. So, and then Monica went missing, and I'm not sure if that patent lapsed, but it was already outdated anyway. And I think they were trying to update it, if I remember correctly. So then we have Jason Thomas, who passed away. Well, actually, he went missing on December 12th, 2025. He worked for Navatoris. He was in chemical biology, which means he was a pharmacist, a high-ranking pharmacist. He went missing in December. They found him in March 2026 in a local, out in Massachusetts, in a lake, and I believe the authorities found him in March. And I do believe that he was on the verge of creating a pharmaceutical that would possibly cure a lot of diseases. Then we have Nero. I'm terrible with these names. Nuno Loureiro. Okay. He was a plasma scientist at MIT and the Fusion Center. At the Fusion Center, he was unalived at his house. The person who unalived him. Okay, so he's from Portugal. So he went to school. Okay, with this gentleman who was responsible for Brown University. Okay. And then he was pew-pewed, and he ended up passing away the next day, but the gentleman who was associated with Brown University ended up aliving himself that same day. Then we got Carl Grillmar. He was an astrophysicist at Caltech. He was unalived on his front porch in February 2026, actually. And then, we have William McCaslin. They're all related. It's just trying to find the actual direct connections. Because it's just
hold on,
so
Leslie. We got a
broad.
lot of comments in here, a lot of questions. I haven't been. Let's see. Conveniently, they all go missing.
Right, I saw that.
Unbelievable! Wow. It just continues and continues. Guys, if you have questions, I missed it. I'm getting ready to do the live news, so I was kind of doing three things at once. But your questions mean a lot. This case is just wild. It has national security implications. Foreign actors would have a motive for taking these people. So if you have questions, let's hear them. Bring them up if you want to come up. This is the expert right here.
Yeah, there was a lot going on behind the scenes, especially when it had to do with overseas conflicts, because I was reading that, I mean, it costs a lot of money to make that stuff, right? And, you got Lockheed Martin involved. They manufacture this stuff. You
What
got
was the real quick?
Raytheon.
Here's a question. Help me look at the questions, Leslie.
Oh, yeah.
What was the missing money about? Go over the missing money. You covered that when you did your opening.
Yeah, so they did an audit and they couldn't last year, I believe. There was several $billion unaccounted for, and it has been they thought it was like Jamie was always saying, the black budget. Okay, so it's just missing and it was unaccounted for and they couldn't explain it, so they brushed it off.
Right.
In my opinion, they were going to private contractors. They were going to research that was highly classified. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, it's a lot to absorb here. There's a lot going on that we don't know about, and it's been going on for centuries. Unfortunately, So I mean, it's we're overseas, and it's $4 million just to drop one thing. It's $4 million when McCaslin and company were coming up with easier ways to get it done, and it would cost pennies compared to what it's costing the taxpayers. I mean,
I'm gonna break in for a minute because this is how breaking news works. I'm getting ready to jump on this. Keep your focus on this missing scientist, but I'm going to be covering a case on Fox News. It's been national news. Missing truck driver, last seen in Florida, found unalived in Georgia, FBI says. And what this case is about is a individual from Georgia that was hauling some cars on a car hauler, Leslie, and they lost contact with him. He was last seen about 30 miles south of Cocoa Beach, where I live. He just vanished. So several days went by, no contact, no one could find him. The FBI stepped in because of the interstate commerce of these cars going across state lines.
Yeah.
Leslie, they found the car hauler back in Georgia with his unalived body. Very mysterious. So I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted the people to kind of know.
No, you're good. You're good.
But Leslie,
you're good.
This missing money. I'm going to go down the hole a little bit. They were a incredible amount of money missing during 9/11 from the World Trade Center. They were a black site, an official black site that used to house cash and gold. 9/11 occurs, the towers come down, and that black budget money, trillions of dollars, unaccounted for. And I just wanted to lead up into what you're saying because I think this is making sense. Then Don Rumsfeld, our Secretary of Defense, was sitting before a joint session of Congress trying to figure out where this missing trillions of dollars went in black budget, some of which, Leslie, went to Wright-Patterson for those special projects. So we're talking all the way back to 9/11 days. This money was circulating and was going to be paid out in contractors at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I'm telling you, you're bringing some good stuff. A lot of questions.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, the things that these guys were doing and the amount of money that they're spending on this, it just blows my mind. And companies like Lockheed Martin and Raytheon, they're the ones who make this stuff. So when overseas happened, their stocks went up like 3-4%, Now that may not, and 3 or 4% may not seem to be a lot for us, but let me tell you how much money they were making. If it cost $4 million per interceptor missile, and how many of those were we dropping a day?
Right.
That's a lot of money. I mean,
you're talking trillions, and when we say
Yeah.
money, trillions of dollars. But here's the deal, Leslie. Our good general, who's now missing, unaccounted for, controlled a lot of that dark money coming in
he
for
did.
whatever special projects they were working for
Right.
in that classified setting.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, these people who are missing or were unalive, they all each knew in their area of expertise just a little bit, okay? But it was enough to put us in under national security threat. Okay, with everything that's going on. I mean, we just have no idea. I mean, Tom Burchett is saying, well, you can't believe what I'm saying with the UFOs. I think the world could handle that better than what's going on here. Honest to God.
Here's the kicker to that. None of this really had any traction until recently, but I find it odd, not coincidental, that during the onset of this, the president came out and said he was going to declassify the EAP investigations that have been completed around the world.
And that's where it started. And now it's becoming a bigger thing with everything that's going on. I mean, like I said, Amy Eskridge, she's all over my FYP. These people are just like the smartest people on the planet. And whether they're missing or not,
Congressman Burchett just said yesterday, he was on one of the talk show circles, didn't come out and say he would resign from Congress, but it was asked, if you're in a classified setting, getting classified briefings, and I've been in those briefings, it's called a SCIF. No phones, technology, data can go into that SCIF. It's top secret to go in there. He was asked, can you elaborate on what you were briefed on? And he's like, no, only if I would resign Congress. So knowing him like we've seen him operate regarding this story, he may in fact just resign so we can blow the whistle to tell the American people what in the world is going on. It's a national security problem.
Well, and some of these, just with the UAPs, okay, some of these whistleblowers, they were gonna put it out there, and they were gonna go against the congressional committee, and we got Matthew James Sullivan. He just recently came out. Okay, he unalived himself in 2024. He was only 39. He was an Air Force intel officer preparing to testify before Congress on legacy UAP programs.
Right. To me, that reeks cover up. It reeks. Who's got our technology? Right.
Yeah.
I could go and list about four actors, bad state actors. I would start with North Korea. I would go to Iran. I would go to Israel. They've been known to do some things behind the back. And then good old China. Wouldn't these bad state actors love to have what's in the minds of these brilliant people that are now missing?
No, I know. Or they were, unalived, making it look like an accident. Yeah, and it's just not the American scientists and military people and specialists, I discovered that there was like 6 or 7 Chinese scientists that went missing or unalived. I mean, there was a couple of scientists over in England, I believe. I mean, it's just not happening here, but they're all tied to here. And I think 2 of the Chinese scientists were directly associated with McCaslin at one point.
That's right. And you know,
So I mean, it's just not
happening.
happening here, but it's happening overseas too. And I think England, what happened in the UK was, I don't think it was recent, but I mean, even the scientists in China, that's coming out too. It's all coming out.
I mean,
And I mean, if
it's a known fact that the Israelis, um, the Russians, the Chinese
mm-hmm,
have all participated in kidnapping
yes,
scientists. Google it. Don't take my word for it.
no,
Bet what we're saying out.
oh, it's
Google
been
what
brought
you're
up.
seeing.
I've read about it.
And to me, that's concerning.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially, it's, I mean, how do they not be seen on video? I mean, it's like Tom Pritchett's wife said, about a month or so ago. It's 2026. How do you go missing in 2026? When everybody, when 90% of people have Ring cameras, somebody's always out and about. How do you go? I mean, maybe you just don't pay attention, but you just move about your life. You don't think about it twice, but how do you just go missing off the face of the earth?
You don't.
Especially when you're 6,000 feet on a mountain. How does that happen?
But here's the deal. So, McCaslin purportedly, allegedly, potentially, maybe, may have had some memory issues.
He might have, yeah.
I think that's interesting because they have searched for him. They've used air assets,
Oh,
they've
yeah.
used ground assets, and
Mhm.
this man just disappeared without a trace. Come on, give me a break.
Right. Well, I mean, his wife said that. I mean, that's how, when McCaslin retired, he said the reason is why he retired is from mental fog. Okay. Well, his wife is stuck to that. That 911 call was just, I don't know about that 911 call. She was too calm as far as I'm concerned. I would have been hysterical if it was my husband. But she didn't didn't believe that he was involved in anything. When you're in this line of work and you're dealing with top secret military stuff, you can't talk to anybody. You can't go home and tell your wife. You can't go home and tell your kids or your mom. And yes, Arlene, I agree with you. I don't trust his wife. She was also in the military.
He was very calm, cool, and collected.
She was too calm, because I'm telling you, if my husband disappeared off the face of the earth, I would have been hysterical on the phone. Not even kidding. And she did admit that they were both dealing with mental fog. But when you have to go home every night and not talk about this is what, people do that. They go to work, they come home, they talk to their spouses or their families about their day. He couldn't do that. And especially with all that weighing on his mind. So I get it with the mental fog, but I don't think he was, to the
No.
point of dementia or
No.
Alzheimer's or anything like that.
No.
I mean, I have a hard day at work and I get mental fog, so
Leslie, I'm going to connect to the
It's just-
studio. Let me do
Go
this
ahead.
news hit real quick, and then we'll carry on. Kind of cover
Yeah,
for
go
the new people
fine.
that we break we break in once in a while, Leslie, and let them know what we're doing, so they don't think we're ignoring them.
Yeah, so Jamie's going to do a story on, I believe, Fox News, right, Jamie? Was it Fox News? Yeah. So, on a missing truck driver, and this happens from time to time when one of the news stations, his local station, I believe it's Fox in Orlando, I believe. So they ask him, what they think and his opinions on stuff. So,
Can you hear me?
so you're seeing the behind the scenes of the news. Yeah, you know what? I'm not.
I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Sure if his
Okay, I got
wife
you.
was involved.
Hey, I don't know, Zach. I don't know
She
what
was a
happened.
little too-
It's like I was getting emails.
She was a little too
earlier,
calm for
and it
me.
was just like I'm not getting. Maybe
As far as I'm
you may have
concerned,
blocked
I
me.
mean, the 911 call is out there. It's crazy. She was just way too calm. And she had stated, I believe, that she had thought possibly he had left and didn't want to be found.
Fast and then started chatting with you.
Yes,
So
I
that
did.
was kind of,
Okay.
but she
It's
didn't seem
pretty-
too
pretty
upset
quick, pretty
about it.
basic what I texted you already.
So, I mean, I don't know.
With that, I'll start recording.
Where can you hear the
Recording
call?
in
I heard
progress.
it.
Perfect. There we go. Okay. So,
I think
what
it
you
was
and I have been talking
YT.
about
I think
is this missing truck
everything's on
driver
YT. So
last
you might
seen in
want to
Florida,
search
downhead in
the
Georgia.
YT
So what we're
for it.
looking for from you
And see if
is
it's on there.
insight into the investigation.
It should
Now,
be
at
on
this
there.
point,
And with
we're
this
learning
case, they've
more
only done
information
one
about
news
it, but
conference. I mean,
from the FBI
they're not
standpoint,
gonna.
what
I don't
are
know
they
what it is
likely
with not
doing?
doing
What are
news
they likely
conferences
focusing
anymore.
on at this point in the investigation?
Yeah, they're essentially going to
Lisa,
go back
I think
and
that's where I
build
saw
that
it, Lisa.
timeline
Yeah, I
from
think it
time
was
he
the Law
departed
and Crime
his
Network. I
origin
think you're
state
right. Yeah.
until it was discovered of his body. And how you do that is you have way stations,
But yeah, it's
especially on most of the interstates,
I mean,
that some of these trucks are
is just
actually
crazy.
required to go through during their transit mode. So you're going to have a record of that truck
So I don't know
potentially in way
if
stations.
I don't know if I should keep talking.
Most of these newer vehicles have black boxes. They have GPS units. There are an array of data
Okay, yeah,
that
Lisa,
could be collected
okay.
potentially from
It's in the
that
notes.
truck.
Yeah. On
And then
Telegram.
you have
Yeah.
his cell phone. If the cell phone was recovered when they recovered his dead body, you certainly want to go and collect and download all the data in that cell phone to try to build a timeline, but more importantly, to see what communications he may or may not have had that could lead you to a motive for this this murder.
So it's kind of just
Okay,
like
I'm gonna
putting together
mute
pieces to a puzzle.
so Jamie
It
can
really
do
is.
stuff.
And here's a caveat to that. Depending on what vehicles that may have been transported by this individual, there's a good possibility that some of those vehicles may be equipped with, such as OnStar, some type of onboard data centers that would also corroborate what they're looking for. And what you're trying to do is build a timeline. It's a whodunit as we speak. And you certainly want to build that timeline, but you want to come up with a motive as to why this occurred, and then obviously connect the dots to the bad guy.
Well, and now let's talk about something else with this situation, a more broad angle of it. When you're talking about these truckers who are hauling all these cars, does that make them more of a target in particular?
Cargo theft, I did a case recently on the Kit Kat bar theft, right? There were tons of Kit Kat candy bars taken overseas. The cargo theft industry, the theft industry and cargo theft is a multi-billion-dollar industry. There's still a criminal element such as the mob or the mafia, believe it or not, that's invested in some of this cargo theft. Not saying that's the case here. But also you have gangs, you have other individuals that heist these cars and certainly send those cars over to Venezuela, perhaps, to Mexico, for the lowest penny on the dollar to get rid of these cars. So yeah, I mean, you are a target. Unfortunately, all of our truckers are targets depending on what they're hauling. Sorry, I didn't mean to be long-winded.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I understand. Those were the main two things I was looking for some comment on, but since you read through it, is there anything else about this that sticks out? Anything else you want to comment on or give some insight on with it?
it's just odd, coming from a former investigator, why this occurred over in Brevard County in Florida, but yet his unalive body, it's my understanding, was discovered elsewhere. So that's a mystery that I would want to dig into to find out, number one, how he was transported back, and did we have DOT cameras that may have tracked this? Could we possibly come up with any images of any additional cars that were involved in this transportation of the body and truck?
Okay. Okay. No, that's helpful. Look, Jamie, I hate to eat and run, but
Get,
I gotta go.
get it by Zach. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, sir. All right, guys, really quick there. Sorry, Leslie. I apologize for that.
No, don't apologize. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, just the mere fact that you have this amount of missing or unalive people, no clear motive from the federal government, namely the FBI, who's now investigating these cases. I find it disturbing, Leslie, that we haven't heard more in terms of why this may have occurred to these folks that are still missing, that are unaccounted for. And Leslie, you've heard me say this 100 times. Watch what you don't see versus what you do see. Meaning,
Right.
let's watch the shiny object here. Meanwhile, we're doing something over here. And what I mean
Look
by that,
over
Leslie-
here. Yeah, so you don't go look over here.
Well,
Exactly.
and what I mean by that is,
It's a distraction.
if it's in fact tied to, my opinion, to our national security of our homeland, or outside of the homeland for any type of operations taking place, you're not going to hear a lot from the feds in terms of any of the above, because if it's tied to national security, it's a top secret issue, given the fact you're working with these hypersonic weapons, the black budget. But this is a good case to keep diving into. I mean, it's piqued the
Yeah.
interest of everybody here.
And I mean, in my opinion, I just think that, okay, yeah, maybe they'll look into it, but at the end of the day, they're going to come back and say they're not related. They're just coincidence. And it's like Amy Eskridge's dad had said, he doesn't seem to think that she was involved in anything or whatever. And he says, you know what? People pass away all the time. Whether, scientists pass away all the time. He thinks it's coincidental. I don't.
But
Right.
let's put that to the test and let's vet that out. Is that
You
just
know,
him in the heat of the passion, and he's
Maybe.
passionate about this, he's exposed to it.
Yeah,
A Google search would certainly clear that up very quickly.
it does. But I also found interesting too. I like watching Ross Coulthart,
Yeah.
News Nation out of Australia. He does a Q&A every Saturday on YT, I believe, and it's Sunday for him, but I think it's every Saturday. So I watched a little bit of it. He thought previously that this was part of a national security issue with all these scientists. He came back on Saturday and says it's all coincidence. My opinion, because he talks a lot about the UAPs and stuff. He's been researching this stuff for like 8-9 years. I'm wondering if somebody got to him. Because now all of a sudden he's saying it's not related, it's all coincidence, and he says even my news station is saying that it's not, but I'm telling you it is.
Well, stranger things have happened, and here, look, you
Yeah.
guys just heard me do the news. I do mainstream media news. I do it 3 or 4 or 5 days a week. I don't buy into the news, Leslie. I don't watch the news. If I get called to do a news story on, I don't care what network it is, they
Right.
send me a briefing as to what I'm going to be talking about. I don't buy into the MSN. I don't trust them, and I don't trust them just for that reason.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just my opinion that possibly maybe somebody got to him. Maybe they didn't. It just seemed weird to me that all of a sudden his tune changed. From one, he's been report. I mean, I'm maybe not to you, but for me, I mean, I'm just a girl who lives in Chicago, and just lives her life like everybody else, you know. And all of
I
a
mean,
sudden,
I
all of
just,
this is coming to head.
you know, that's a lot of airtime, and I've watched him, for a long
Yeah,
time.
he's a fantastic reporter. I mean, I love watching him. He's very informative.
But
You
just to
know,
click your fingers and say, "Hey, it's coincidental," that's suspicious. We don't do coincidental, sir.
that's what I mean. That yeah, because he does the Q&A on Saturday with his producer, and somebody, she had asked something, and she was to me, in my opinion, it just seemed like he was digging into his own network, saying, "Well, even my network is saying it's all connected,
Right.
and it's not." Really?
Let's ask
I
our
mean, I
friend
don't
from
know.
let's ask our friend from the UK. Have you heard about the missing scientist up in the UK?
I've only seen a couple of articles about it. It's not obviously on the big news channels or anything, just a couple of online things. It's just been very brief, listing the fact that it's suspicious and there's these scientists and their jobs and where they were or what they were doing, but nothing too in depth.
So after hearing this, and we've talked about it before here on our lives, but after hearing Leslie break this down as elegant as she did, what's your take on this? Is it just a coincidence?
I mean, there's so many possibilities, isn't it? In a way, it could just be lots of coincidences, like people do die. I mean,
Yeah.
if you looked into another field, say doctors, how many doctors are out there dying? It could be obviously that. But equally, it could be some insider thing to do with the government. It could be something, I mean, like you say, with the weapons, they cost a lot of money. People are making big money off this. If you're someone trying to make a cheap or free weapon, there's some people out there that have not got a vested interest in that. And then obviously you've got the foreign element as well, because, some countries have known to be slightly dodge in the past and present, actually.
Here's my concern with the coincidental thing, right? And listen to what I'm about to put down. I think you may see, but you may agree with me. So when you have a reporter that's in the press pool covering the White House, and you're in the press room for a press briefing by Caroline Levitt, granted, Peter Doocy has access to that for every press. He's assigned there. That's his assignment. But with everything going on, every conflict that our government and nations involved in throughout the world, we have this major conflict with transportation of oil in the Strait of Hormuz. Peter Doocy doesn't ask anything about the Iranian conflict, nothing about the oil. Peter Doocy asked Caroline Levitt, what does the White House know, and what are you doing about the missing scientist? That, to me, tracks volumes. You guys may agree or may not agree.
Yeah, as if he has some kind of insider information that we don't know and he's not telling us.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
I mean, think about that. With everything going on we have like this global conflict, right? I think if I was assigned to the press pool at the Oval or to the White House, I think I would probably have a better question than the missing scientists, who are coincidentally all missing or unalive. So does Peter Doocy perhaps know something we don't know, which you just said? I think it's very speculative that he has heard something, perhaps somebody from the Department of War or the FBI.
Yeah, I mean, the Iran thing is taking up all the news right now, isn't it? And so it is interesting for him to say that, but he's not going to say it either, is he? I mean, if you know something right now, are you going to be willing to come out in public and say that? I mean, you might be worried you'll be next.
Well, we're about to put a security detail on Leslie. She's been digging, and I bet you can go to
I
her
don't know about
browser history.
that.
She's going to show up by the NSA as she's probably one of the top researchers on this.
They're going to be knocking out my door. It's a good
Leslie,
thing my
put your
husband
statement
came
out
home.
now of how you're mentally feeling. Quick.
Right?
Tell us.
Hey, I
Well,
keep
that's-
my head on a swivel.
Leslie's not sick. She's not taking any unexpected trips, and she's not going
No.
to disappear. She loves
I
life.
love my life.
She doesn't like hiking, and she won't be deleting her phone back to
That's
factory
correct. I do not
settings.
like hiking, so
If she's found out on a hike, there is
That's
something
right.
going wrong.
that's right.
There does seem to be a
Um,
lot that are out hiking, though, aren't they? When they sort of disappear.
Yeah,
I mean, that seems to be like the whole Russia window situation. Scientists and
yeah,
hiking.
yeah. Some of them are very athletic. They were really into hiking. The general. I mean, but the week before he went missing, he did a 60-mile bike ride. I mean, I can lucky I can ride my bike for a mile. I mean, just,
I mean, I
you
haven't even
know.
got a bike, so
No, well, no. I don't either anymore. But if I had one, I couldn't. You know.
but here's the other thing to this thing. You have a female that was out hiking, Leslie,
Hmm.
and literally they were like, "Hey," they're waving at her, and
Hmm.
she just vanishes like
She just
she's a magician.
vanishes. Yeah, it's 6,000 feet. You know, if she would have fell, if she would have tripped, if she would have slipped off the side of the cliff, if an animal or something would have gotten her, she would have been screaming, right? You would think she would make noise and they would hear her. So,
and don't a lot of phones have those things on it now? Like if you have a car crash, your
GPS.
phones automatically call the emergency services. So you would think it would be the same if you fell from a
Right.
great height. The phone
Hmm.
would react as if you've had some kind of
Yeah,
issue
or
and
your
call the
Apple Watch or whatever watch you have. I mean,
yeah.
if it, nowadays, if you jerk your hand the wrong way, it immediately calls 911 here in the States. You know what I mean? So it calls emergency services. So,
Definitely.
my daughter was on a, roller coaster and she jerked her arm and, 911 called me. So I got an alert.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah, I got an alert. So, because from my daughter. So,
Yeah, I wonder whether how many people actually really in real life go hiking or out in the wilderness on their own without actually taking a phone. Because a lot of these also seem to be out and about without their phones, don't they, at the time? Which is also
yeah,
slightly
I mean, they
suspicious to
leave
me.
their phone. I mean, it's just weird how some of them were at factory reset. They left all their personal items, trackable items. And we don't know if McCaslin's phones were wiped clean. We don't know. It's never come out. His wife never said anything. But it's just strange that they were wiped clean. I mean, even the admin assistant, Melissa, hers was both her work phone and personal phone were wiped clean. Back to factory reset. They can get the messages through their provider. So if they were, at least her personal phone.
I just I don't buy
I don't understand that.
coincidences. Don't buy it. Not going to buy it.
I don't either, but,
Hey, as you were making some comments in there. Wasn't that a great presentation?
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you so much. You put a lot of time into that, so I know we all
It was
appreciate that.
amazing.
Yeah.
What's your take? What do you think?
Well, I think individually those cases could be maybe explained away, but then putting all of them together, the way they're related, as far as the field and line of work they were in, I don't know how you can't just dismiss it. I know the general had possibly some memory issues, but again, there was another person that went missing. I can't recall her name. And a few, I think, I'm not sure, went off the
Monica
same
Reza?
way. They went out and they left their phones or their glasses or their wallet at home. So it's just very strange and suspicious. So I'll be interested to see how this turns out.
yeah, I mean, anybody who went missing, they didn't have anything on them.
Right.
Either they left the house without their electronics or they left their house with protection.
And I was kind of in and out a little bit tonight, off and on.
Yeah.
Was that girl Amy? Did you discuss her too? You probably did.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was ready to. She was getting ready to publish stuff, and she was on a podcast, and
Mm-hmm.
she was just putting it out there.
She was, and she went public because she said if you stick your neck out in
Correct.
private, they'll
That's
get you.
right.
But if you put it in public,
Yes.
then I think she thought that might afford her some protection.
Yeah, but she was getting threatening text messages, and she put it all out there.
Yeah.
And the guy that, for the life of me, I can't remember his name, but that person, he put him out there.
Right.
So I mean, she was actually in fear for her life. I mean,
Mhm.
she was naturally scared.
Right.
And she honestly, but they were doing it to her for 3 years. So I think at that point, when she did that podcast, I'm not sure if she even thought it was ever going to happen because she was talking.
Right.
So she's in a sense a whistleblower without being a whistleblower. You know what I mean? I mean, not going against, going up against the, Congress and Tim
Mhm.
Burchett and everybody. You know what I mean? It
Right.
just,
But were they something wrong with her windows or something odd happening to her windows?
yeah. So she would work from her. She was working from her house, and it actually it happened to somebody else too. I think I want to say gamma rays, like microwave rays, right? And they went through the window, and in her hands, it looked like just her hands were
Right.
sunburned, right? And there was film on her windows, and there's pictures of it.
Mhm.
She showed pictures of it in that podcast, and it just wasn't her that it happened to.
It's
So I
there's
don't know
a
if they were
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's a gentleman who's on TikTok now, and he's a former like Navy surgeon. I think he has some affiliation with NASA, and he's coming on. I'm not sure how legit he is, but he is so frightened by all of this because of his association and his level of security that
Yeah.
he
I mean,
had before.
I've seen that too. There are people out there making testimonies
Right.
saying, I love my life.
Yes.
I'm happy with my life. If this happens, it wasn't me. If this was said, it's not true. You know
Right.
what I mean? They're
Exactly.
absolutely making testimonies and putting it out there for the public to see because
he was-
they are afraid for their lives.
He was saying actually there's a female co-worker of his who's now retired who doesn't live that far away, and they have these conversations often, and she's very frightened as well.
I think her name is. I want to say it starts with an L. I want to say Lorraine, maybe, but she
don't
didn't live far from McCaslin.
Oh, that's who it was. Okay.
Yeah, she didn't live far from McCaslin, and I think they're right. That person you were speaking of knows her, and she's now afraid too.
Right. Right.
But she didn't live far from McCaslin. They spoke often, I believe. I'm not so sure if they weren't neighbors. To be
So
honest with
I'm
you.
not surprised we don't have that much information. I would think because of the level of security and the data and
Yeah.
I don't think they want to show any like weakness on our end.
Mm-mm.
Maybe if it's an outside entity, another country perhaps, or someone that could benefit from having these people or their information.
Right.
So I think that's why they're not showing their hand.
Because in my opinion, the U.S. is so far ahead of technology, and other entities want what we have,
Right.
and we just don't want to play in the same sandbox. So,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
and they're going to do everything they possibly can to get what we have.
Right.
That's my opinion.
Right. And there's been such a rush of all these people now the past few years, and now they're connecting. Oh, maybe the year before this was one connected.
Right.
So they're kind of connecting the dots now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's scary. But I did comment because you were doing such a great job. I just want to let you know it's appreciated. And I was going to
Oh,
write a
thank you.
comment. Oh, sure. I don't know if you've discussed this week the University of South Florida people. I've been off and on again this week online. I'm sorry. Have you discussed that this week, that case?
We haven't done anything live on it. I covered that with 3 of the outlets, Fox News, and I think a couple of stations down in South Florida or Miami or Tampa. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think we may want to bring that up and because it's close to where I'm at.
Mhm.
But it's a horrible, tragic case. It's another case of jealousy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That got out of hand, and you have 2 University of South Florida students now unalive because of this monster.
Right.
So yeah, I think I think people would like to hear about that.
So I did do some research on that. So whenever you guys have time, whatever, and I'm on, I'll be happy to jump on.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Look at this, guys. I mean, this is great. I like this flow, the way we're doing this. But yeah, I definitely want to, let's connect, and we'll get a
Okay.
date or a day here soon. before
Okay.
it gets out of the news cycle, and we'll chat about it. Let me ask you a question. Both of these students were from Bangladesh, am I
Right.
correct?
Yes.
Has the family made their way over to take custody of the bodies, or do we know anything about the bodies? Where
I
they're going?
don't know. I mean, they found body parts on the 26th, I think near where Zamil was found in a plastic bag, a black plastic bag. But they sent on the 26th, that was what, Sunday? So they sent them off to the medical examiner for identification. But according to the press report, her family was notified, obviously, about her being missing. And then the brother said that they basically told him because of the amount of blood, they believe that she is dead and that possibly dismembered.
Yeah, that I unfortunately had the painstaking opportunity. I read those affidavits before doing the news over at Fox, and let me tell you, if you're just joining, we definitely, Leslie, we're going to have to talk, and we're going to get as you were in here to talk about it. These kids, think Dexter would be a good way. The affidavits are so graphic in terms of what this monster did to these kids. It's just shocking.
Yes. Yes.
Shocking.
Brutal and premeditated.
Oh, without a question.
Right. According to his Amazon orders, he was preparing for this. So it's very interesting, but extremely heartbreaking because they had everything to live for. They're just,
Here's something
contributing to
else
society, and it's just horrible.
This really, yeah, we do need to talk about it, and I'm gonna tell you why. ChatGPT. Let me back up for a minute. I'm gonna give my soapbox for a minute. When Siri became an all-star hit, everyone had Siri on their iPhones. We're all asking Siris all kinds of crazy questions. And if you guys recall, they were a controversy because I did the news story on it of, hey Siri, where do I hide an unalive body? I don't know if you guys recall that in the news.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Oh, she was listening.
Sorry.
So it used to be if you would ask that question, she would give you 3 or 4 options on how to dispose of a body. How that relates to the University of South Florida case, the Florida Attorney General is hot and heavy on the heels of all of these AI programs and platforms to start filtering out certain words. And as you were, he used ChatGPT on multiple occasions. And there's some conversation that he had about dismembering bodies. What's the best way? And according to the affidavit, ChatGPT gave him the answers.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that should be not allowed. I mean, there's censors on here. You can't say certain
Right.
words, so
Exactly.
those can't be flagged. I did see that I didn't hear about that information that he asked about how to do that, but I did read that he had asked or Googled, what is an endangered adult person?
Yep.
And so that was like the day before Zamil was found. So it was like on the 23rd. So he definitely is, and he has a history of odd behavior, to say the least.
Let's connect. Let's figure out what night, and let's talk about that case.
Okay, sounds good. Looking forward to it.
This is salute week. This is the last week. I'm saluting you guys.
Oh.
I'm saluting you.
I'm saluting you back.
Thank you for the compliments. And Leslie has brought her A game on this case.
Oh, always. Always. Thanks again, Leslie.
No,
Good
no
night.
problem.
Leslie, have you asked ChatGPT about this case? I've never thought of that.
No.
Maybe we should.
I mean, I'm
Maybe there's something
fascinated.
there that would tell us a little bit more. It's just
I don't use it that often. I have my keyboard and computer. I'm good with that.
I'm fa-
I don't need
So-
them tracking anything else.
I cut our UK lady off. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to do something with the boxes.
Oops.
But thank you. And guys, if you have questions about this case, come up. You can ask Leslie. She's the resident expert for the missing scientist. Leslie, so what's
It's a lot to it's a lot to keep up with. It's a lot of information.
do you have a whiteboard somewhere in a room? I can picture you in a dim room with a light board, and you're like,
Okay, so I have a craft room because my children moved out. Okay, got one off married, the other one moved out. So my craft room moved upstairs. I'm ready to just clear an entire wall and make it a whiteboard because I have this right now, which needs to go on a whiteboard. I did this in Excel. This is all 18 scientists. Yes, I did that in Excel. Yep. That's why it was hard to read because I didn't realize how I printed it out and I didn't realize how small the print was.
holy cow. And I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, but I'm ready to just designate a wall to a whiteboard. Honest to God.
So let me ask you this. Let's talk a little conspiratorial stuff. We like to do a little conspiracy sometimes. Not conspiracies, but let's talk about the elephant in the room. If Raytheon, and I think you said maybe Halliburton on the black budget and the monies, you have other defense contractors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you some questions now, if it's all right. Have you read anything in regards of these defense contractors? DARPA. Do you know what DARPA is? Let's learn what DARPA does.
No.
DARPA is a black hole for special projects. It's called DARPA. Anything that you think that may be happening that's a conspiracy, DARPA may very well be working on it. But here's my question, Leslie. We have the timing of the disclosure allegedly coming from the White House on UFOs and UAPs. Last year, this is recent, Leslie. Last year we had a trending drone sighting issue in the Northeast on the coast. There were drones every night flying up and down the coast and through cities. It's been suggested that some of this technology may be our technology and not the UFO phenomenon. So I'm just trying to draw some pictures here. What if, and we're speculating, right? What if all of these military and defense contractors and the black budget and the black money and the trillions of dollars going out to Wright-Patterson, to DARPA, what if maybe it is our technology? That all of these things were being housed at where the good general was in charge of, right? To me, that's a setup for China, Iran, Russia, whomever.
Oh, yeah.
To just dadgum kidnap these people. But Leslie, let me ask you this. Is it possible that some of these folks may be being kept on ice for their protection and the protection of our national secrets? That's a question I have for you.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. That they were taking specific people and like it would be witness protection, but not witness protection, and they're keeping them because maybe they got wind of possible entities coming in. Maybe. I was thinking about that.
And then really and truly, let's expound on that for a minute because you brought the A game. I'm dying to see your point on this because you're the expert. Maybe not so much the UAP stuff or the people coming in from outer space, or now they're claiming they're under our oceans, Leslie, right? These UFOs are under the ocean. That's what they're claiming.
Oh, really?
Tim Burchett is claiming that. But what if it's none of that? What if it's they have developed these type of secret weapons that our military is using, and they're in fear of these scientists who worked on those programs of being kidnapped, and lo and behold, they're going to know all of our weaponry with the Department of War.
Right. Maybe. I mean, it's just...
Cheryl says don't go in the water.
No, I usually don't. If I do, it's, knee high and that's it.
No, seriously, you need to research that because a lot of our lawmakers are now coming out publicly and stating that the East Coast and the West Coast, there's a significant issue and concern that these, whatever they are living under the ocean and launching from the ocean.
Hmm.
That's a
I'm
serious.
taking notes.
I've been following that for a while. All right, who do we have in here? Well, here's a good comment from John. Let's bring John up for a minute. John, if you want to come up, I've seen you very active in the chat. John just had a good comment. John says, we lock our valuables up in a safe. Maybe perhaps the government has locked our security. John.
Yeah, John's usually very active in the chat.
John, how are you?
I'm doing all right, guys. How are y'all?
Good. What do you think about Leslie's topic? Didn't she do a great job?
Oh, she did fantastic. I love it. It's a big topic too. It's so much information. So much. There's so many rabbit holes.
Oh, yeah, I know. It makes my head hurt.
Let's hear it. What's your thoughts, John? I know you've got some.
Well, I mean, I've just kind of been chiming in the chat a little bit here and there, depending on what's being said. I'm sorry, I got dogs barking. I might have to go on mute here for a second until my dog settles down. We got some weather.
Oh no, be safe up there.
That's only one of them. I've got 8.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They're a handful at times.
Hey, I have one and he's a handful.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a coincidence or a suspicious?
Well, I mean, you could go either way on that, and you could go a long ways either way. It's easy to want to go suspicious. It really is. I was commenting earlier in the chat, relating to these people and potential witness protection. And like I said in the chat, we put our valuables in the safe to protect them from intruders. It's very possible our government does the same things with its valuables or assets,
Right.
It's just one of many possibilities.
I mean, there's clearly, in my opinion, there's clearly a connection between all of these people. They may not hold the same titles, but they certainly have worked on super, super serious programs for the government. Some have security clearances, top security clearances, secret clearances, John.
Yeah.
I just find that in my profession, we call that a nexus.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it hard to brush it off as coincidence, doesn't it?
As you were says, you may want to check to see if they're looking to bark at some UFOs or maybe some UAPs. That's all that they didn't say that.
Very possible.
Here's one more thing, and Leslie summed this up when she opened. You have so much money that the American people don't hear about, John, called black money or dark money. And those dark monies go into programs such as DARPA, such as the programs that the good general worked on over at Wright-Patterson. But they're trillions upon trillions of dollars taken from our annual budget, and it's used for top secret programs such as hypersonic missiles, et cetera, et cetera. John, let me ask you a question. You've been in here. Leslie and I both respect your opinion. Is it possible that some of the stuff that we're hearing and seeing could be our own technology that they're just not releasing because it would hurt the security of our country and military?
It certainly could. It's very possible. we're not in the know, and that's by design. Compartmentalization is like the secret sauce, to keeping these secrets. You got one guy in a warehouse building a wheel. He's told what specs they need, but he doesn't know what the wheel is for. And 3,000 miles away in another warehouse, another guy's told to build a strut, a piece of the
Yep.
suspension. And they have no idea what that's going to be used for. They're given the
Right.
spec, and they design it and build it.
Hmm.
And somewhere else down the chain, one other person gets to put that wheel on that strut, and he doesn't know what that's going on,
Right.
So,
Exactly.
it's a very, very complicated system to connect dots in.
Hmm.
You know, the follow up on that. Let's go back to this is always find this interesting. The Bin Laden raid, when we captured Bin Laden, right? You have that exclusive SEAL Team 6 that go over there. They build a replica city or replica building of the Bin Laden compound. But John, here's the deal. Those two helicopters finally made an appearance where they were training to carry out this mission. And, those special operators, they have some pretty high clearances, right? They had never heard, they had never seen, and never dreamt that we had helicopters that were, number one, stealth, and you could fly literally under and off the radar. So those are some of our nation's highest warriors that have seen all the major threats, combats, security clearances, top security briefings. They didn't even know they existed.
Exactly. They were told what they were allowed to be told when they were allowed to be told it.
Yep.
It's that phrase "need to know."
Hmm.
I imagine that
Need to
gets
know basis. Yep.
yeah. I imagine that gets thrown around like sand on a beach.
Hmm.
That's kind of like my wife. I'll get nosy and ask her what she's doing. She's like, "That's a need to know basis, sir. And you don't need to know."
Above your pay grade.
That's above your pay grade. I'll let you know in 5 to 7 business days.
Get your email in about a month. No, I mean, it's just there's so much weirdness in this case, and I don't know. I just can't do the coincidence. I just can't. I mean, there's so many connections to one another, and they're all involved in the same field. But like as you were, I think Leslie even said it. John, you said it. How many heart surgeons pass away or disappear in our country every year that we don't hear about?
Right.
No.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you start looking at it statistically like that, it starts kind of normalizing or humanizing the elements. But when you're dealing with something like this, this is just too high level for me to believe that this many people in those positions fell off the radar due to health issues. All around. A reasonable to say same time.
Right.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but and we don't know exactly what they come into contact with in their work. It could be theorized that maybe they have become sick having come in contact with certain things in their research and development. So maybe there is a legitimate reason as to why they would fall ill. But
Yeah.
it's just so many rabbit holes.
But yeah, I just find it weird that it's just there's more unalived than there are missing. So I don't know. It's and there's a connection there. There's got to be, and I'll try and find it because
Yeah.
I mean passing in an airplane crash. Okay, I mean, did it just happen to be? They just happened to be scientists. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I think the hardest part about connecting dots in a case like this is trying to look at all of those different people at the same time. I think you're going to have to do some heavy research individually on each one before you'll find enough elements to each one to connect them properly.
Yeah, you're right. And I was thinking about that the other day. It's just because, you try to, you're trying to research all this. Now it has to go person by person now. Get all the information that you can on one person, go to the next one because, it just takes you down so many different rabbit holes. And,
Right.
and then I was never diagnosed with ADHD. I should be, but, it's like, ooh, look, a chicken, because now you're going out, you find something, now you have to go and research that, and then you go and research that, and now you're down 4 different rabbit holes, and you just put your mind in a maze because you're just all over the place. So,
It's exhausting.
yeah,
What's
and
the,
Debbie's right. Start with the common denominator, and
There you go.
right now I think it's McCaslin, and then work your way down.
Yeah.
But McCaslin, and that's why I made this, because I'm trying to, figure it out, because if I see it on paper or on a big whiteboard, it's easier, you can see it better. I mean,
Well, and you can relax portions of your mind to allow it to function properly instead of
oh
trying
my
to keep it all.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. I was
Yeah.
telling that to my mom today. I'm like, I'm all over the board with this. I feel like, yeah, I mean, you just gotta point a, main person and just spiral out from there and just see. That's why I did this, because then I can group the people together and who worked where, and then just start go from there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a wild case. There's a lot of information. It's,
Technically, you can summarize it as a case, but technically, each person is a case in their own, and some of them may be more than one case by themselves.
Well, right, and I was researching this week, and then I stumble upon a list of 66 people, including the ones that we have. 66 and that's going back to 1995.
Yeah. And
I'm not even kidding, and it's like all these people are on there, plus there's other people. So when I said I wasn't kidding about making my craft room into a whiteboard,
yeah.
I mean, seriously, my husband's gonna kill me, but that's all right. It'll only hurt a little, right? So I mean, it's just like, honest to God. But I mean, each scientist is their own case. I mean, there's 18 plus cases here, but you go with your common denominator, and then it'll get figured out sooner or later. You just got to dig for it, right?
Yeah.
So,
And one thing about these modern times is, I'd like to be able to say now it's easier to research things, but at the same time, it's easier for them to block you from researching things. Accurately.
Oh yeah, and it's just you research stuff, but you got to figure out who's legit and who isn't, because
Yeah, I just mean things like such as AI. You can use AI to help you find information, just like they can use AI.
Yeah.
Just like they can use AI to track down information they want to scrub it.
Correct. Yeah.
And I'd be willing to bet they're quicker on the draw than we are.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a given.
Definitely got your work cut out for you.
Oh, I know. I can probably research this until the day I leave this God's green earth.
Don, wait
Still
till
won't be
she
solved.
gets the guys in the black suits that show up with a little ink pen and says, "Hey, man, we're here to see."
Men in Black, yeah.
look at the
I'm
pen.
telling you, I'm telling you, it's going to happen, and it's not going to be Will Smith showing up at my door, and I'm going to be very disappointed. or Tommy Lee Jones, I'm going to be very disappointed. Okay. I mean,
if Robin is still in here, is Robin still here? If so, you want to come up? Robin,
The
Robin,
neuralizer, that's what it's called. The
yeah, the
neuralizer.
neuralizer, yes.
Robin, are you still here?
Robin, to the front of the class, please.
I think Robin had a
Robin.
question or a comment, and I missed it. Guys, let me tell you,
Yeah,
Alondra, the moderator in the chat, let me tell you what, she's hard on me. It's like a constant message, like, you're missing this, you're missing that, you got to ask for this. So thank God we've got Alondra trying to help us.
go Alondra.
I forget to look at the
Get
phone
it, girl.
messages. Oh, yeah.
Get 'em.
She's cracking the
She's the
whip.
pit bull, man. She's the pit bull.
That girl don't play the radio.
Get it, girl.
So, Leslie, what else? What are we going to look for in the near future? I mean, obviously, and John, listen to this before you go. If I read in the newspaper next Monday that there's another scientist missing, or another scientist or someone that worked anywhere connected to any of these people that are missing unalive, that are in a plane crash, motorcycle crash, I'm going to come on and get on live, and I'm going to start yelling, because that's just not cool.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, like you touched base on the truck driver that went missing and was found in Georgia. Well, if you turn on the news next week and there's 8 or 10 or 12 more of them, we're not going to ignore that. That's not going to be a coincidence, right?
Right.
So, no doubt.
Well, and
No
the thing is it's the majority of them are scientists, whatever. But we also have YT people on YT, and like authors, and who broadcast this stuff too. It's just not. I mean, 99% of them are, but we're gonna find it's just not. It's above and beyond the scientists too. And especially when what was his name? Oh, David Wilcock.
Well, come on. I mean, if that doesn't pique your spidey senses, you've got this guy who's been doing an amazing job researching, digging on this very topic, and he puts out a message that I'm not this, I'm not that, I love life, I want to go to Disney World next week, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's gone. Come on.
No,
What
and
in the
then
world?
and the news stated that he did it when the authorities showed up. I don't know if that's true or not, but the people who are associated with him are scared, and they're out there
Rightfully
making
so.
testimonies, and they don't care who sees it.
Hey, real quick, Nan, I know I saw you in here a couple times. Nan, can you request to come up, please? I want to get you on the panel and chat with you for just a minute. Nan, N-A-N-A, Nana. Yeah, I don't know. This Wilcock thing really took me for a loop, guys. When I saw that, I'm like, okay. I almost picked up the chat thing and said, Leslie, you better get to safety.
Mm-hmm.
Something is
Yeah,
up.
I mean,
All right, John, what do you have? What do you have in thoughts? If we see any more of these people missing unalive, is that going to help convince you more that it's more than coincidental?
Oh, well, if I needed personally more convincing, then I absolutely. But I don't personally need more convincing. I'm just trying not to heavily sway other people's opinions based on my
right.
belief. I let people draw their own conclusion, but I don't need anybody else to go missing or be found unalive. I'm already of the opinion that something's wrong.
I mean, the general was enough, and
Yeah.
once that came out, then it started. I mean, it really did start spiraling from there, and then people got curious. Why is the highest ranking officer in the military going missing and nobody's doing anything about it? And
And
then
why
all of a
did it,
sudden,
And why
You
did
get
it
people
take
like,
so long for leadership to acknowledge it?
yeah, because they didn't want it. They were hoping it was going to go away.
Yeah,
And when you have people like us who are on social media, you know, it's conspiracy theories and everything else. You know, it's not like it was back in the day when there was no social media. We didn't know anything about it. We believed what the news told us, right?
right.
So before social media, before internet, before anything, we read the newspapers, and now I'm showing my age, but we had newspapers and we had the TV. That's it. And the
Yeah.
radio. We didn't have internet.
And then you also had, you know, your local information. You didn't have national and international news
Right.
at your fingertips like we do now. Everything was
Right.
pretty much local to you. And if
Right.
I might be on the other side of the country, everything's a perfectly good, happy day. It would take me it'd take me a couple of days to find out about 9/11 if we didn't have the technology that we have, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Instead, I got to watch the second plane live on TV.
I did too.
You know, a lot of people did. That definitely wouldn't have happened back in the day.
Mm-mm. I was on maternity leave when that happened with my daughter. So she was born 2 weeks before that happened.
Golly.
I was
I don't
watching
know,
the
guys.
Today Show.
I think we've got a problem.
No doubt.
Houston, we have a problem.
Seriously, I think we've got a problem. And I really truly
Oh no,
think, I think the White House, I mean, you can't come out and do a press conference that we're hiding classified military surplus or military equipment. You can't say, no worry, they're working. I mean, I don't know, put in the position, I don't know how you would even respond to Peter Ducey other than say, hey, we're looking into it. And out of sight, out of mind, you'll never hear anything else unless we're asked again.
Right. Yep. Again, it's look over here so you don't look over there.
I'm just reading the comments to see if there are any more questions. Do you see them, Leslie?
Yeah, it looks like they were talking about 9/11.
Yeah. Well, that was.
There's somebody in the comments telling me that my profile picture's throwing them off. I said, that's Bruce Willis from Die Hard. That's when he's crawling through the AC vent.
Man, that's a great Christmas movie.
Absolutely.
And I always say that
Everybody
because everybody
argues
says
about that.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
Oh,
No, I'm really
now
showing
we have,
my
now we
age.
have a discussion about that. So in the chat, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I can't say it is. John, you're going to say it's a Christmas movie.
I believe I will.
Robin says no. Arlene says, wait a minute, you guys. Wait a minute. We may outvote you guys. I see a lot of no's, but I see some yeses. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We may be 50-50.
It looks
split on
about
that
even
one.
to me. Yeah.
It's definitely about an equal. Yeah, it looks pretty equal so far.
Mm-hmm. Well, and yes, and Harry Potter is definitely a Christmas movie too. So I saw that comment.
All right. John, thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you. I've enjoyed it, and I appreciate y'all letting me up here to discuss that with y'all. I'll hop back down.
Just full transparency, I blocked John.
Yeah.
And didn't know I blocked him. John messaged me. He's like, are we still friends? I'm like, yeah, man, we'd love to hear from you. He's like, can't get into the live. Leslie, I was trying to do something out of my freaking thumbs, and I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
it happens. I know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
don't know.
happens.
I don't know what I could have done short of creating a new account to find him if I didn't have his phone number.
Thank God you had my phone number, man.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I blocked Steve. I blocked Rich. I don't know what I'm doing. John, we're grateful for you, man. You always bring some good stuff to us. And Leslie, he's one of the. We're going to call him one of the old guys. I mean, he's been here a long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Thank-
and I mean he's great in other platforms too. I see him in there all the time. You know, when
Thank
I'm
you, my brother.
perusing through.
Appreciate it.
We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Leslie, what else do you want to say about this case other than there's something going on that we don't understand?
Mm, yeah, I don't know.
All right,
I'm really
guys.
hoping it stops. So, I mean, with that plane crash and everything that happened last week, I'm really hoping that's the end of it. But I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
All right. Number one, guys, you know what to do in the chat. Leslie, what's your favorite color?
Purple.
Let's do something purple in there for this amazing co-host. Leslie, I'm telling you, I when you showed that spreadsheet, I had no clue that you were doing all that. I mean, that's some.
Oh yeah,
that's some government stuff right there.
Man, it's the only way you can try to keep your head straight without your brain going in 17 different directions, literally, because, you know, just trying to sort it all out is just enough.
I can't wait to see the whiteboard.
Oh, God.
And then all of
That
the
ain't happening for a while, but
all the push pins and the yarn and the strings. But guys, look at these hearts. Guys, do it for 20 more seconds. She really she read the mail tonight on this case.
I mean, I may have just put like I said, taking my map down here and putting the whiteboard in the dining room. So, with all the push pins in it.
Look at these, man. Leslie, you got some fans. You got a lot of fans. All right. Going to bring a case again tomorrow night. It's going to be with Nana. I'm going to do a video on that case here after we get off. I'll do a quick video and introduce that case. I was wanting her to come up and introduce it like we've done. Unfortunately, she's, life, man. We got family, dinner. Kids,
Yeah, I know.
whatever.
It's
We're
life
all
is life.
part-time cyber sleuths here, but I'll put something out here shortly.
Okay.
Leslie, anything else you want to cover or say?
Just keep your head on a swivel, people. Tell your loved ones you love them, hug them, kiss them, because tomorrow's not promised. So.
Do you want to make any statements that you're healthy and you have no plans of leaving to go anywhere?
Yeah, I'm super healthy. My husband just got home from the UK. Yeah, I love my life. I love my kids, and I can't wait to be a grandma. So there's that. I have no reason to be unhappy. So living my best life the way I can live it. So it's.
Real quick, you. I don't know if you want to talk about it here. You're working on a little project to try to get a guest on. I don't know if you want to say
Yes.
anything right now. If not, if it's too soon, we'll cover it later.
I can't. No, I just can't get a hold of him. I'm just afraid that he just doesn't want to talk, or he just thinks I'm not serious. I mean, I called him again this afternoon. I was probably long-winded on his voicemail, and it just hung up on me. So I don't know if that was him doing that, or if it was just because I ran out the voicemail. You know what I mean? I ran out of time. I don't feel comfortable reaching out to him again. I don't want him to think that I'm harassing him. We have caller ID. He's got my number. He can listen to the messages. I can't force somebody to talk. And I'm pretty positive that is the same number. So
Okay,
it is the
let's give it
correct
some
number.
time.
I'm sorry. So
Give it some time.
mean-
Maybe he'll.
yeah, so I don't want to pressure him. I don't want him to think that I'm stalking him or anything like that. So I'll just leave it be. And because I don't think he's on social media, I haven't seen anything.
And they're
But I
asking,
could be wrong.
you want to share who you were calling? Someone's asking who it was.
Oh, I was trying to get a hold of Sebastian Rogers' father, Seth Rogers. To see if he is willing to come up and tell us about his son, and because I know it's been over 2 years since he went missing, and just give us we want to learn about Sebastian. We want to know what he was like. We want to know his favorite color and his favorite thing to do, and just try to get the word out there again and maybe reignite this case.
Your fans are
Yeah.
saying thank you, Leslie. You got fans in here.
And I know he's out there searching, so I mean, he's doing the right thing. I hope.
I unfortunately I didn't know anything about that case until Jamie
I didn't
brought-
either.
It was but all these things bother you and touch you, but that one, man, that makes you want to get spicy to get some answers.
It does. It really does.
Um,
Yeah.
Those are special young people, and I can
Well,
only
and-
imagine what happened. to that little boy.
It makes me a little more spicy because he's autistic.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who's special needs, so that hits close to home, right? I'm very protective of her. My family's very protective of her. It's just, especially when it's special needs, don't do that to them. Don't do it
Yeah.
to anybody.
Yeah.
But when they're
Makes you
special
wanna go,
needs, sometimes they just don't know any better. They don't. Leave the babies alone. Let them live their lives. Why? I don't understand it.
Right. All right. Well, I'm going to get yelled at by Alondra when we get off of here, so that's why I'm kind of like dragging this out, because I'm going to tell you what I did. I wrote the case name. Yeah, I can't lie, Leslie.
No, you can't.
All right. So here's the deal. Man, I don't know where you are, but you put me on the spot. So it happened so fast that I wrote all of the cases we're doing for this week on a piece of paper, and I did it in my shorthand. Leslie, I can't read the case name.
You can't read it.
I can't read my own writing. So
I'm gonna start writing them down.
I'm going to have to drop a video. I'll figure it out here in a minute. And then we will properly announce tomorrow night's topic, I guess, in a video or a post, because I can't read my own writing, Leslie.
Okay, so me, Arlene, and Tracy, we're gonna have to start writing this down. You're gonna need backup to the backup to the backup.
I mean, it's not even doctor's writing. It looks like chicken
No.
scratch. It's not even as good as
Yeah.
doctor's writing.
I've done that too. Believe me, when I'm writing stuff down, it's worse than doctor's handwriting. I do the same thing.
So,
Honest to God. Then I go back to it later, like, what the hell was I trying? Oh, sorry. What the heck am I trying to say here?
here's my messages. All right, you need to announce tomorrow night's topics, and it's like exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, and I'm like, I don't know. I can't read the writing. So, guys, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll do better, I guess.
Get him, Alondra. Get him. Go get him.
I'll get the proverbial phone call when we
I
go
love
off.
her. She's awesome.
Let me tell you, I got to brag about her for a minute. She's Alondra and I sometimes have a little tiff, right? But I got to tell you, there's no better young person that I would want to model my young person other than after her. I mean, she's one of the good kids, and she's raising two little ones. And Oak, she brought him on a live one night, right? And almost got in trouble and banned for
Yeah.
would monitor. But you know, he's on the spectrum, and he's a unique, smart kid. But you know, I've got to give it up to Alondra. She's in here every night trying to help, making things flow.
Yeah, that's hard. when you
Yelling
got
at
two
me when I'm
babies.
messing up. But you know, she's probably right now got a baby in her arms, a little guy.
Probably.
And Oak's probably running around saying, I need this or need that. And she's still very active. So, guys,
Oh, and I saw a video of him, and my God, I just want to come down there and hug him and kiss him
Yeah.
and call him George because he is so adorable.
guys,
Just
please
adorable.
follow Alondra. And she's starting to do some TikTok videos, Leslie. There's some amazing videos that she's doing with that little fella. And Oak is just, he's a special guy. I mean, he's a smart,
Yep.
special kid.
Yeah.
But
enjoy it while it lasts because they grow up too quickly.
he'll be driving.
Next thing you know,
in
they'll be
college
married and
soon.
off. They'll be off. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be
They'll
driving
be
soon.
grown up and married.
Guys, real quick, show Alondra some love in here. If you haven't followed her, please follow her. You know, I Leslie, we couldn't do this without Alondra. I mean, she.
Oh
keeps
no!
all
I mean,
Red
the
Threads
mods
out.
are just fantastic. I mean, with the way these comments go, I don't know how she does it. She's like, you know,
And then my wife, you
Superwoman
know,
with
she's
her
doing
hands.
her
I
part.
mean,
So
you know, it's amazing, and she's very
So-
nice, and she's very respectful in the chat, and you know, it's just amazing.
Yep. Except when you get that proverbial phone call after you get off, why can't you read your writing?
Right? Exactly.
All right, guys. Leslie, you did a great job. It was my honor to step beside you and listen to that because you've done the homework, you've done the research, and man, your husband, ooh, you better not mess up because you're gonna catch him.
I know exactly. I know.
He's out there eating a one or
Be
two.
playing. Don't be
Don't go to
messing
lunch
with
without
me.
telling Leslie because she's gonna know that you went to lunch without her.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
Exactly.
you're a true leader. I count on you and the rest of you guys every single day. Couldn't do it without you guys. And thank you. You brought the goods. And Leslie, I'm going to be quiet. Close us on until tomorrow night. I'm going to let you do the closing.
All right. Well, I don't know what to say.
Whatever you want to say it, sister.
I mean, you know, be back here at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be here. I don't know if the other two amigos are the other two amigos going to be on or no.
Rich is having
Rich
a
and
Rich.
Steve.
I think Steve will be here. Steve was on a date night or something. He texted me. Rick,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I want to get Rick back on. Rick's up in the mountains in North Carolina, so I'm trying to let.
Well, what's
Rick
Rich doing? Buying more
Rich-
wigs?
Rich is being finicky. Rich is
Rich
just,
is being rich?
Rich is being rich. Now he's doing some family stuff. I think he had a pool issue with his swimming pool, and he'll be back. We gotta have Rich back.
That's all right. You know, life gets in the way. Just, you know, keep your head on the swivel, people.
All right, Leslie. This is Salute Week. I salute
All right.
you, dear.
See you later.
Guys, thank
Until
you for
tomorrow.
watching. We'll be here tomorrow night.
Bye.